Hello everyone, welcome back to The Other Mother. This is Mel, again. Same me, new week. For those out there who follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I am going to be doing a shout out to the ex in this episode. And what that means is just talking about what it's like to have an ex in my life. Normally, when I prepare for my podcasts, just so I can keep on track and not waffle about, I do some reading and writing and prepare myself that way so I have something to go off and not get lost. For this podcast, that didn't seem like the best way for me to approach it. I thought about doing dot points and stuff, and I just felt like it was a little bit less personal than how I intended this podcast to be. So I've decided to write a letter. I have written a letter still with some tact and some structure and things like that. That's just how I write anyway, but I found that it was probably the best way for me to be able to express myself. It isn't the longest letter, so this podcast probably won't even go for 10 minutes, so I'll see how I go. I might post another podcast this week. But yes, it's not too long. For me, I'm just pretty straight to the point and direct. I don't carry on and, waffle about as much as I like to think I don't. Sorry if I do. But I mean, I'm going to go through and read this, and as I read it, things might come to mind and I might add some things on. That just happens when you go back and read through and you have hindsight and get some more thought processes. But yeah, I'll just read through it, and, at the end, if you have anything you'd like to contribute or say, you can always send us a comment on YouTube, message us on Instagram. The Instagram is The Other Mother, as is YouTube, and I'm also on Spotify. Okay, here we go. Dear biomum, living and being with someone who has an ex in their life is a really, really tough gig. Although you really may not mean for it to be, it is extremely intimidating and mentally challenging. And I really want to put it in a context that will help you understand. My husband absolutely hates knowing anything about my exes and my past, and probably wouldn't like me contacting them or having them in my life. I can understand this, and I don't know why he feels it, if he feels jealous or threatened or any of those normal emotions. I have seen him get visibly upset when I've said something in passing about past relationships, and so I steer away from that and try not to bring it up. Normally the past is the past. You can close it off and start a new chapter and move on. Having an ex active in our lives is unique into itself. For me, it can be a trigger for my anxiety and my self-talk. My self-talk can become quite negative. I tend to fixate and allow myself to be consumed with my thoughts and feelings. With it also comes along with some expectations. Some expectations include me being the new missus in my husband's life, being a stepmom to a child, my image and how I present myself, and the language that I might use on a day-to-day basis. Is it something that you've said or done? No, absolutely not. This isn't something that you've put onto me. It's a pressure that I have put onto myself. No, it's not fair, and yes, it may sound weird, but for me, this is just how my anxiety fixates and functions and is triggered on a day-to-day basis. For me and everyone involved, we all want the best thing for Riley. For us to co-parent productively, we don't need to be active in each other's lives, best friends, anything like that. The relationships that you may have had are now in the past, and this is now my relationship and my family. As long as communication remains open for and about Riley, that is really what matters. I want to be in control of my life and my family where I can. For the past few years, it feels like I've given up a lot of my life, and for me and my mental health, I want to try and reclaim myself. I really need to find myself again and understand what's happening for me internally. While this letter sounds it's from potentially a frustrating place, it's definitely not. It's from a place of strength, growth and empowerment within myself. I love being a part of Riley's life, and I cannot wait to see him grow and continue learning. And with that becomes our co-parenting. We are now going to be primary carers of this little dude, and I'm really excited to play more of a role in his life. I'm excited to witness his bond with his dad and his siblings grow stronger. There is absolutely no doubt that we will continue to communicate about Riley. However, we just don't need that social media presence or outside influences to do so. If need be, we are only a phone call away or a text away, and we will always have drop-offs and pick-ups for us to communicate and see each other. When there are special events and birthdays, of course, we will always actively try and be part of that and come together as co-parenting blended families and make that special for Riley's day. Whatever may come in the future, with our co-parenting relationship, Riley will always be in the centre of that. And as long as he is getting everything he needs from his parents, then I think we're doing a pretty good and darn good job. Man, I'm getting tongue twisted today. Sorry, everyone. But anyway, apart from my tongue twisters that I just cannot get out, that is the end of my letter. So, like I said, it's super short and sweet. I'm really to the point, and it's just all about, I really want to reclaim myself. I really just want to shut that outside stuff off and just really focus on me and focus on my family that's within my household, because I just feel like I'm losing sight of all that. I feel like I'm losing control of that. I feel like I'm not me anymore. And it's very much like when you have a child, you have your own biological child and you lose yourself. You're suddenly a mum and you don't know what to do. And I don't think I ever really processed that. I suddenly became a huge part of Riley's life. I became his stepmother, and you just get thrown into that mix. You don't really have time to process that. And so I think a lot of what I really want to do now is to process things, do a little bit of soul searching, a little bit of mental health work, and try and move up and onwards from there. Like I said, it's about strength, growth, and empowerment for me. And that's what's really important to me right now. So thank you for listening to my letter. I hope it's everything you thought it would be. It may be, it may not be, but I don't think I'm the only one out there who has jumped into a stepchild's life and has just had to roll with it and go, roll with the punches. Like I said, this was super short. I may or may not post another podcast this week. I'll let you all know when I put it up on my Instagram whether I am or not. But please jump on there. I'm going to do a little bit of research into things I shared today, simply because I think that I need to do that for myself. And if I find anything useful and great to share, then I'll pop it up on my Instagram as well. Other than that, thank you for listening this week, and I'll be in touch. All right. Bye, everyone.